What's up, gamers? Today I'm going to be showcasing my new fire/ice mage build. We're currently level 64, running through a tier 11 nightmare dungeon. I had a lot of awesome comments on my previous video about some adjustments I could make to my build, so I have made some adjustments and I'm here to share that with you guys. I'm going to break this video up into 5 different categories, just like the last one, with skills and enhancements. The first category, talents, and then gear, Paragon, and then gameplay. Feel free to click through. Everything's going to be time-stamped for you if you need a specific thing. If you don't mind, please do me a favor and check my Twitch link in the bio in the description here, and join us live every night over on Twitch, especially if you want to have any more discussions about Sorcerer builds or just Diablo in general. If you have any questions, come on over. We have an awesome, huge, supportive mental health community. If you want to join the Glue Crew clan, which is what we call it because we stick together, my BattleNet's going to be in the description as well. Hit me up, shoot me a friend request. And if you found any value in this video, please subscribe for more daily Diablo 4 videos. Let's get into it. All right, so as far as skills and enhancements go, we're going to start off with my one, which is teleport. That gives us, mobility, gives us the ability to get in and out of things. Outside of that, I've only got 1 rank into that, so yeah, it's pretty cut and dry. Just used for mobility mostly. Now Blizzard is absolutely amazing. It doesn't have any cast time. You could literally just cast it and walk around, kite around, and just wait for things to continuously freeze, and does lots of damage, especially combined with the staff that I have. Frost Nova as well. Everything, more or less, this build is based off of when things become frozen and they explode. Frost Nova is pretty much an insta-freeze, so you can freeze them via Blizzard over time, or you can freeze them instantly with Frost Nova if you get in a pinch. I call them splody guys. When the little splody guys run up to you and they want to like suicide bomb you, this is a good way to prevent that from happening. Just Frost Nova, insta explosion. So I have picked up ice armor for the increased mana regeneration, so it still seems a little on the low end, but I recently got a new ring that I'm about to try out in this video, so we're gonna see if that helps us out at all. Also went with Firebolt to add in a little bit of mana generation and also provide some burning for, burning things. Yes, absolutely. Ice shards, obviously. Anything we've got ice shards that ricochet. We've got random ice shards that jump all over the place because of the and the enchantment that we have. Ice shards have a 40% chance to ricochet to other enemies, and they always ricochet off frozen enemies, and they are automatically fly towards frozen enemies. So I mean, that's absolutely huge for the enchantment there. And then we also have 1 rank into Fireball, so that we can utilize this enchantment that makes things explode. So that's pretty huge, man. So that's the breakdown of kind of the skills that I've got. Let's go ahead and get into the skill tree. All right, so as far as the skill tree goes, I'm going to start from the top, just like I did in the last video. I've got 1 rank into Firebolt here. That's going to get us up to just 1, 2, 3, up to Flickering Firebolt, which is for mana regeneration. 1 rank into Firebolt. We're going to come down here. We got 1 rank into Fireball. So that, like I said, we can get that enchantment effect off of that for the extra explosion damage. Super good. We also have, I've got currently 4 ranks in the ice shards with an additional 2 on my gear right now. And we're going to go with the, while you have barriers active, cast of ice shards treat enemies as if they were frozen. I could go the vulnerable route here, which is probably might be better in the long run, but I have a lot of stuff that already makes things vulnerable, so the fact that 5 ice shards has to hit 1 enemy in a single cast, 9 times out of 10 they die before 5 ice shards even hit them. So I felt personally that this was a wasted talent, so I went ahead and went with the barriers, simply because, I have gear that gives me barriers and stuff, as well as, the ice armor counts as a barrier also, so... All right, we've got our 1 point into teleport here. I don't believe I have anything else up here. Yeah, 1 point into teleport here. We've got 3 going into our lucky hit chance, because the way that our ultimate works, we have a lot of this is based off luck. So these procs that we constantly get, that your ability has to free cast, more or less, is what's going to happen here. So any more lucky hit chance that we can obtain, in my personal opinion, is better. So we've got 15% here that's going to allow us to proc a lot more often. And then these as well, a little bit of damage reduction, and grants us a barrier as well. So that's an added barrier on top of our ice armor. And then we go straight down into the Icy Veil, Snap Freeze, and Cold Front. 3 in all of these to give us more barrier chill damage. And then various have 15% increased duration, so that helps keep our mana shield alive a little bit longer. And also, Frost Kills have a 9% chance to instantly freeze, so that's a good additional chance here. We've got a full 5 ranks into Blizzard with an additional 3 on our gear, so that's super beneficial. All right, so we've got Permafrost, Icy Touch, Frigid Breeze, and Hoarfrost. I have all these maxed out with an additional 2 on the ring that I have, which is absolutely nice. So that's going to get us up to 25%, because without those 2 additional points, it's only 15. So we're going to be dealing 25% more damage to elites, which is absolutely awesome. I had to take 1 away from Frigid Breeze here to get a point in Blizzard, I think. And then we come down here to Avalanche, which I have a new ring that gives me the ability to have 2 Ice Shards or Blizzards cost no mana. So I'm excited to try that out in this video. So let's go ahead and get into the Paragon board here. All right, so currently the 2 glyphs I am using, one is Elementalist, which is going to allow us to deal additional percentage of fire, cold, and lightning damage. So that is super good, in my opinion. I honestly haven't even looked through the majority of the rest of these. I picked the first 2 that I thought looked pretty nice. So we've got that guy at level 6 with 50 intelligence inputted to it. And then I've also got the Control Glyph, which is for every 5 dexterity purchased within range, you get a 5.9% increased damage to crowd control targets and 10% increased damage to chilled enemies instead of 20% increased damage to stunned or frozen enemies. So, yeah, awesome. And if you want to take a screenshot or something or pause the video, this is kind of how I have the board set up here. There we go, and I'm on my way to my 3rd glyph slot here. I actually did not obtain the legendary here, but it is Frigid Fate, which is going to be dealing cold damage to vulnerable enemies, increases your lucky hit chance for 5 seconds up to 15%. So that's going to be really nice. Once I get there, I've got a long way to go all the way around this thing, but we'll get there eventually. And then the second board I selected was Icefall. Killing a frozen enemy grants you 15% of your maximum life as a barrier. So, yeah. That's going to be great for later game to try and hopefully keep us alive a little bit longer. All right, let's take a real quick look at my gear, starting with the helmet. I'm also going to pull up my stats here so you can kind of see what we got for stats. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the helmet. This is going to give us more lucky hit chance. When you hit a crowd-controlled enemy, there's a 46% chance for that crowd control effect to spread to another. So, more or less, if I Ice Nova, there's a chance that the guy next to him is going to Ice Nova as well, and then one next to him and the one next to him, causing a chain reaction of just insane explosions. Coupled with this guy, which is not that guy, this guy, Avalanche Key passive now applies to 1 additional cast. There's so many things that just go into everything exploding here. So we're also going to my chest and my pants. I'm still looking for better things, honestly, because here just gives us a little bit of armor, which is going to give us a little bit of sustain to live a little bit longer than normal. I have noticed my livability has went down since I've been making some adjustments to my actual damage. I'm not surviving as much as I would like. I don't die too many times, but there is a couple times I get caught with no teleport and no dash and just kind of die. But yeah, so that gives us a little bit of armor there. Next, we're going to the Doom Gauntlets of Control, which I'm still trying to find a replacement for because I believe my ring Yeah, my ring here has got a 35% chance to deal more damage to immobilized, stunned, and frozen enemies. So yeah, this is kind of a wasted legendary talent here. Still looking for a replacement for that, but hopefully I'll find something soon. This is, yeah, another thing here. I'm trying to get to the point to where I'm replacing, but it also goes into my barriers a little bit, which is good for all the damage increase and stuff that we have for barriers. Damage elite enemy grants you a barrier absorbing damage for 10 seconds. This effect can only happen once every 30 seconds. So yeah, this generates a barrier for us, which is kind of nice. And plus, the reason these pants are so hard for me to replace is we get that additional 3 ranks of Blizzard, which if you're curious to see the difference between those 3 ranks of Blizzard, we can just come in here and take off 3. So currently, Summon our Frigid Blizzard deals 9,016 damage. If we take off 3, that's, you know, we're losing 2,000 damage. So honestly, it's kind of hard to replace those until I find something fairly similar. Here we got these last night. These are the Penitent Graves, Sacred Unique Legendary. It leaves behind a trail of frost that chills enemies, and I deal 10% additional damage to chilled enemies, so that helps a lot. Here we have the God Roll Blizzard Staff, which is going to make ice spikes explode all over the place, which is honestly a good, easy way to stay safe with this build, is you can just run around and cast blizzards and never cast anything else, and everything just eventually dies and explodes, and it's pretty awesome. Here is so this is a new piece that I've gotten. Just specifically, like right before I started recording this video in that dungeon in the beginning, is this dropped at the very end. So I'm actually stoked to try this out. I did have some rings and trinkets and stuff that came with the Shatter Key additional cast on it, but this is the first avalanche one that I've seen, so I'm going to give it a shot. It rolled decent, except for the pyromancy damage, which I'm going to try and re-roll to frost damage if I can get enough of the shards that I need to actually re-roll it. It's so freaking expensive. And also we have, you know, the 35% max roll on more damage to immobilized or stunned or frozen enemies, so that's great. This is also something that I'm going to try. I just pulled this out of my chest to give it a shot. Core skills, hit 5 or more enemies. 35% of the resource cost is refunded. So our core skill is going to be our icy shards. So hopefully we'll be able to cast more icy shards. We'll get more procs from having the additional cast in here, or at least when it procs, we get double casts. So we might just be able to machine gun everything down. We're going to give it a shot and try it out. But yeah, so these are some other things that I've considered as far as gear goes here. We've got, so when I'm within the blizzard, you take 11% less damage. You know, that could be a better roll. But just in general, the legendary stat is something I've been looking at testing out. And here as well, this was the helmet I had prior to this one. So this one gives us more lucky hit chance and allows our Frost Nova to explode to more enemies, which I think is a lot better than a barrier situation. So that's the one I had previously. And this is another one here with a max roll for 15% less damage if we're standing in our own blizzard. Let me know if you guys have used these pants yet. If you really have any problem with staying alive. I mean, we kind of zip around enough as a sorcerer that we don't really need a whole lot of sustain. But, you know, as long as you play smart, stay out of things. Here we go with, this is one that I previously had on, 22% less damage from crowd controlled or vulnerable enemies. So 9 times out of 10, everything that you're looking at is probably crowd controlled to a point. With whether being chilled or frozen or whatnot. So this 22% here is probably better than the 15% you would get for standing in your own blizzard. So this is one I also replaced this ring with here. This is when you freeze an enemy, there's a 33% chance they become vulnerable. So we'll see which guy is better here. Like I said, just trying this out for the first time. So yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be pretty nice, though. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right, and a real quick scan over all of my stats here. Damage with cold could be higher for sure, 47.5. At least it's the highest one I have. All right, let's fire up I think I got a tier 11 dungeon here. Let's fire it up and go test it all out. Actually, tier 12. Okay, sure. All right, so we are in Nightmare Dungeon tier 12, Ancient Laminate. Let's go try this build out and see if it's any better than what I already had. See the permafrost on the ground from the boots? That's actually pretty dope, to be honest. I love it. All right, let's try this out. So there's the splody guys I was talking about. Okay, so now we have a proc of Blizzard. Okay. All right, seems to be working really well. Everything's just kind of exploding all the time, which is good. We like to see that. Love to see that. I don't even know why I waste time picking up gold. It seems like a lot, but at the end of the day, it's really not when you can sell one yellow for 30,000. All right, here we go. Nice explosion. Let's see what happens to the elites without doing anything else to them. Oh my lord, look at all that. Delicious. I don't even have to cast. I haven't needed, that was my first ice shard right there. Everything is just Frost, Nova, and Blizzard at the moment. It's like yesterday for the sake of the video. I'm not gonna worry about grabbing up anything else. Any of these shrines at least. Go down here to the splody dudes, pop them. They all start exploding. Oops. Okay. Oops. That goes into the part what I was talking about where you got to be in the right place at the right time. To prepare that. This is actually curious. Oop, not curious. This is actually interesting. I use the wrong word sometimes. There we go. Now they all blow up. See, one Frost Nova kills everything, and I get my Frost Nova back. I get my Frost Nova back because of the lucky hit chance from my helmet. So that's actually amazing. Because what happens here is, you know, the Frost Nova explodes to additional enemies. And then what happens is, under our abilities here, you'll see that Frost Nova generates, or hold on, it's right here. Killing enemies frozen by Frost Nova reduces its cooldown by 1 second up to 4 seconds. Okay, so it's a total of 22-second cooldown, and it reduced to a maximum of 4 seconds per cast. So more or less what happens is it's casting multiple times enough to give me an instant Frost Nova back again, which is pretty stinking cool. I wish I could control that to make it happen more often. The only thing we could do is get to 100% crit luck, and that would be sick. But, you know, that's also not extremely easy to do, I guess. But I love the ability to just run around and not have to stand still, and everything just kind of explodes, you know? Pretty awesome. We'll go ahead and hit that elite with a few ice shards just to get him out of here. But I absolutely love this, man. This is great. Yeah, I just died, but you know, as long as I don't stand in things that I'm not supposed to stand in, typically pretty simple. All right, let's keep running here. I did have a moment yesterday where I was like, man, I'm starting to feel really underpowered. So these two additional items that I switched around with my my rings and